Damn it. It was not the right live. uh, I tell you what, that'd be the BS with live shows, man. I just made a trailer. Not a trailer, but I just made an intro and went to upload it and it says it right there. Okay, live. Let me okay, let me see. Let me open this up. Let me play this in another window because what even
Are
is
we
happening
live?
right now? We are live now. Welcome, folks.
Okay.
We are Grown A Geeks.
I don't know if you
Thank you
want
for
to
joining us
acknowledge that
tonight.
at all.
We do want to acknowledge that, but I mean, of course, as we're live, we are Grown A Geeks, and tonight we're going to be talking about whether or not comic book content has finally fallen off. Is it over? We've been watching Daredevil. We've been watching Invincible. We've got The Boys is back with their final season, and there's stuff still in the pipeline to come. We're going to be talking about that and let you know if we think it's actually over or if it's chugging along pretty strong. Joining me tonight, we've got the guys. It's a guys only show. Apparently, we'll have some people joining us here in a little bit. I think in the comments in the chat. Of course, we're looking for you, so we ask, of course, that you click that QR code. Jeff has the hot seat tonight. That QR code will take you to everywhere you can find Grown A Geeks. We ask that you like, subscribe, follow, share the content with friends, and let them know we are here. I've got RG Cashmere, 2K Kids. He's proud grandpapa. We got Pop Pop here 2 times.
Here we go, 2 grand, 2 grand. Yeah, let's go.
That's what's up.
Let's
And of course,
go.
my man Jeffrey JP&T 17. What's going on tonight, fellas?
What's up?
Let's see. Now, we are actually not going to be talking about video game adaptations, as the intro stated. So I've got to fix that. Apparently, I'll have to fix that in post, but it's a live show, so I don't know how we'll do that. So, what we will do instead is I will simply put on the screen what tonight's topic is. That would be the easiest way to do that and keep it simple so that we can just share the right content for the right time. I think the banner is saying what it is. So
And make sure, so the thumbnail matches. It's just not
right, that
a
part,
random
that part.
thumbnail.
And well, it's funny because the thumbnail is still going to upload correctly because that gets done ahead of time. The
True.
video that plays is completely separate the way all of this stuff works. And so, but I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know what? I think it's still going to show differently, but I'll get all that fixed later. Right now, I'm just going to pull up what tonight's show is, and we will simply put that on the screen, share that so everybody knows what we're going to be talking about. Is comic book content finally done? We will grab this image file. It is here. It is there. Boom. That is tonight's show.
There it
Is comic book content finally done? So one of the things that I know we were going to discuss, we were going to be talking about, and we'll try to keep it spoiler free because we're still kind of early. Well, not really early. We're about the middle of all the shows. Daredevil. I watched episode 5 tonight, and whew, that was unexpected. I'm gonna just say that there was a lot happening on that show, and I cannot wait to see how they finish this up. Hopefully, they close it out pretty strong. I'm thinking that they will. I'm curious. Now, one of the things that's interesting, of course, is because so much information gets leaked and people's anticipation of what's coming. I'm like, okay, we know the defenders. It's been confirmed. Where they at? And so just got to be patient and make it make sense. Because I will say, thus far, there hasn't been anything that has warranted seeing anybody else just yet. Outside, I mean, if it was a Defender series and not Daredevil series, it might make sense for them to be around or have them on screen and their presence be felt a little more. But given that it is in fact Daredevil show, it's mostly Daredevil. So we haven't seen any Frank Castle, we haven't seen any of the Defenders. It's been mostly Daredevil. Um, we have had Bullseye. He's shown up in a number of episodes, and the story there is that's pretty interesting. I like the way they're unfolding that. But we know the Defenders are coming, and so I think there's a number of people who are going to probably feel some kind of way about the fact that they're not there yet. Maybe Daredevil's not their favorite character. Maybe they're just like on pins and needles waiting for Iron Fist to show up. That's what they're waiting on. And it's somebody out there is an Iron Fist fan. I'm sure they are.
I mean, I'm sure Iron Fist has fans, like the comic book guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but
he's
I don't know.
pretty
There
dope in
can't
some of the
be that
games
much
also.
anger. Yeah, there can't be that much anger about him not being premiered or featured in some of these shows. Like, look, we did the testing. The market has kind of revealed, we got a 35% approval rating. There's really no need to push his character like that. So they can't really get mad about how that turned out. It just, that dude may be a nice guy. He may be really cool to have a beer with, as a person. But yeah, he just was not the guy to play that character. Nobody can't get mad. Let's move on. Try a different way. Multiverse him. You know what I'm saying? Multiverse him.
That would be one way to do it. That would be one way. But I think, I'm all for giving him an opportunity to redeem himself. You've heard the talk. If you decide to bring him back, you are now taking full responsibility for the content you put out.
Mm-hmm.
When it wasn't like Marvel Television, when Marvel Studios, the separate department that headed up all of the Netflix series, when they were in charge of things, they were doing their own thing. It was completely separate, from the MCU. It hinted that there was that connection, but it was separate production altogether. So they didn't have anything. They didn't have anybody to answer to in that regard. Now, if you decide to bring Finn Jones back under the MCU, there's an expectation. And I feel it is his responsibility to live up to at least a portion of that expectation. I don't think that's unfair. I don't think that request is outlandish. And if we see it increase, well, not an increase, but if we see the overall quality improve as it comes to the MCU, and that, of course, is what people are looking for, what they're hoping for, and what they're wanting. And I think they've gotten that for the most part. Daredevil Born Again, season 1, and now everything I've seen in season 2, they have solidified that they are part of the MCU. Okay. And I think it shows in the quality of the acting, the storytelling that's taking place. We are getting MCU quality show. If you're going to bring these other people in, I feel like they need to step up and be MCU quality.
Yeah. Be consistent. Be consistent. I haven't had an opportunity to watch Daredevil, so I cannot comment on the quality of that show. The first season was definitely adequate enough for me to want to watch it. Like, it's not like I didn't enjoy the first season. I did enjoy it. I just haven't had a chance. But I don't know. I mean, I like the trailers, it looked appealing. And I haven't, also a lot of commentary about the show hasn't reached me. So it's not in my feed. I haven't gone looking for it. I don't want to know what other people think about it until I've had a chance to watch it first.
And that makes sense. I can understand that. And like I said, I'll do my best to keep it spoiler free. I won't ruin anything, and with our discussion. But Jeff, when I mentioned the Defenders, you kind of shook your head. Is that impatient me, or?
I have to say I have not found myself thinking about longing for wondering about the Defenders for a single moment that I've watched this season of Daredevil. I think that the story that they're telling and how they're continuing the story of last season um, has just been really well done. There's like a lot of moving parts that are not directly connected to one another. That
Right.
if you don't write this show well and you don't edit this show well, it won't make sense. But the use of like the BB report and then the use of like the Kingpin parody thing now as like the allegorical framing device where it's setting the tone for what this episode is going to be about. We're telling you the real truth about the Kingpin. You're getting this real understanding of like the surface level piece and then the tension that's like boiling underneath. I have to say Bullseye is one of my favorite MCU villains to date.
Mm.
I really loved his
I
storyline in the
absolutely
original
can agree with that.
Netflix. And then I think even now, the way that they have brought him back as almost this like he's not an anti-hero, like an anti-villain, where it's like he's not after Daredevil, he's after his own redemption at the hands of like another like villain whose side that he was on. So I think that that has given him a fascinating art. I love the production choices they made with him with like the lights and how the lighting in the room changes colors when he's like revealing himself to be Bullseye and shit like that. Um, yeah, I mean, we don't even really have to talk about Vincent D'Onofrio, Charlie Cox. I think the only thing about this show that I just am not necessarily on board with is the Karen relationship. I like Karen as a character, but I feel like their like romance is just eh, like it doesn't make me feel like a Mary Jane where it's like I I like understand what you're fighting for. I feel like the connection and the
Right.
passion between y'all two. Definitely not the same way he felt it between him and the lady who played Electra, and him and the lady who played the little psychiatrist lady who was his
Right.
girlfriend for a while.
Yeah.
I felt like they had like a really strong connection, and I just feel like this Karen thing is just like a we just keep going back to that. I like her as part of the I like her as part of the like characters. I loved her like growth, and I personally thought that like them not being together was like part of her being a stronger character. I think now they're always like showing her like training and fighting and hitting a heavy bag and all this. It's just like, man, Karen, go file some paperwork. Like we, you're not finna be out here in the streets with us when it really, really gets ready to go down, right?
Right.
So I think that they're doing a great job with the show. I'm really curious as to like what the payoff is going to be for the story. I haven't really thought about the defenders, but now when I think about them, I'm like, for what? Like
Yeah. What's the Luke Cage deal? Like, why would I?
he's doing fine on his own, and unless this spreads to like other boroughs, it's gonna it's gonna be hard to get me to understand why now you guys are deciding to cross the bridge versus like last season versus hearing Bullseye's like out of jail and going on a rampage. You just like, all right, well, Matt's got that. What the fuck are you talking about? The Kingpin is the mayor of the entire city of New York.
This affects all of us, folks.
That includes y'all's boroughs too, and like nobody's popped up to say nothing about it. So if I were going to nitpick, those would probably be like the two smallest things. But I think overall, like the storytelling, they're doing they have a large undertaking that they've taken in terms of the style of the storytelling that they're doing because there's so many layers, there's so many moving pieces that all are supposed to be like converging together. But I really think that so far they're doing a good job. They're very close to, I think, sticking the landing. It just, I think there's some stuff where what I don't want them to do is try to wrap all these stories up. I think there's some stories where it's like you're gonna have to let that hang over into the next season and
Mhm.
just pick
Right.
what it is, y'all. Like I don't need Matthew. What's his name? Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily
Matthew
need
Lillard.
his character like wrapped up this season. You've introduced him. He was interesting.
Mhm.
I expect to see him show up in other places at the street level. You know what I mean? But you don't got to be like, well, let's bring him back in to wrap his story up and make sure it's like, no. He's the kind of character where you want to have hanging chads, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
So
Some
yeah,
ambiguity.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think they're killing it right now. I think it's super dope, and I think it it makes me curious for the other shows, like
Mm.
because Daredevil at Netflix, Daredevil was the show that was really good, pretty
Yeah,
much
that set
start
it
to
off.
finish.
Yeah.
That got the praise in
I mean,
this.
that's the only
Just
reason the other ones came along, so to speak.
Yeah.
well, but then Jessica Jones, okay, season one, phenomenal in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Season two, a
I
little
mean,
more
just the use of
iffy.
the Purple Man was one of that. I think
Probably the
you talk
most
about.
wasted use of a
I was
hero.
about to say you talk about a good villain in the
Yeah.
MCU.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
Villain.
really hate for his story to already be done
Yeah.
because that's a character that you could have potentially used as a recurring villain
Yeah.
right,
and have him like in the background, shadow player here and there, or people, when you need something done, let him be muscle for hire, if you will. Just there's a
right.
lot of ways to use him. And so for him to be a one and done is a little disappointing. And that's why I'm with you as far as Bullseye. I think the way they are progressing with Bullseye, I am it's too early to say, but I'm curious what they're going to do. I would hate to see his story be wrapped up at the end of this season. I think he's someone that needs to continuously be in and out because when you talk about someone who's like a perfect foe for for Daredevil, there's a certain distance that exists with Kingpin, and you don't get to see it the way you see it in comics and in cartoons and things like that or video games where he's very accessible. um, he's the mayor, and he's hard to get to. You can't just run up and fight him all the time, the way you might see in a comic with Peter Parker or something like that. And so you have to have something to keep other, you have to have that B story available at all times. And I think keeping a character as interesting as Bullseye is an easy way to do that.
Well, and I think too, it's like one thing that I feel like Marvel has done not as great a job of is like I feel like they haven't done like the henchman level characters really
Mm.
well, where it's just like this character pops up on Spider-Man, you know who it is, you know he's not the main story, but you get to at least see some cool stuff. Like I feel like in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, they was doing stuff kind of like that. But I
Mm.
feel like the MCU, even if you look at like a Luke Cage, right? Like Cottonmouth, all them the snakes dudes, right? Why would any of them have to die? Like, why wouldn't you keep them alive? You can lock them up. You can get them get in and out of jail, all this shit like that, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like I feel like they sometimes they've been so focused on that ending story that they don't give us like those kind of like mid-level characters. Like think about like in um Across the Spider-Verse, right? When we see Miles for the first time since the first movie and he's fighting the Spot, and we're seeing like, okay, he's got a few new tricks, he's more comfortable with his powers, he knows what he's doing now. This is not the day after the last movie. There's been some time and he's been working on his shit and he's been growing as a character, right? Like
Right.
sometimes like I want to see stuff like that in the Spider-Man movies, but it's like we live in this world where there is going to be levels, just like there's levels of superheroes, there's going to be levels of villains too. And so like
True.
you need those bullseyes, those
Because every
purple
villain is not going to
hands,
be a super villain.
right? And then even those people who like you could like I could see bullseye popping up in a Spider-Man movie
Oh yeah, yeah.
just as a hired gun for the like in some sort of kingpin assassination attempt story or whatever. Like I can see that happening.
Yeah.
So, and then Spider Man, we talk about Spider Man's rogues gallery so much, but I feel like it's one of those things where it's like all these motherfuckers do not need to be the main villain in a movie. Like the Scorpion, we don't need his whole shocker. We don't
Right.
need his whole deal. Like, give me. You want to talk about Doc Connors? Yes, give us that. That's his actual story there. You want to talk about the Venom symbiote? You want to talk about shit Kingpin? But don't be trying to make like the B level of the
Right. Rhino and
yeah, like I don't care. It's just a dude in a rhino suit. I don't I don't need the backstory. How he fell in the rhinoceros pit at the zoo and all that. I don't care about none of that.
No, all I want for Rhino is I want to see the mechanical suit from Amazing Spider-Man in action. That's
yeah.
the only interest I have in Rhino as a character.
And Sandman is always welcome because his
Specifically,
potential.
I was about to say
as a villain.
specifically that Sandman.
Yes.
Like I need that character, but the cartoon Sandman's always been kind of weird. But I think they did a really good job of making him almost a sympathetic villain from the beginning, because it really was like a reluctant villain who got to the point he did simply because of the situation and the circumstances. It wasn't like he was just set out here to, like, oh, let me cause havoc. It was, okay, I found myself with these powers and now I have to deal with it. And that's what it is. And a lot of times that's what a lot of these, villains are. Even some of the heroes. You get these mysterious powers, and how you choose to use them determines whether you're going to be a hero or a villain. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, you have people who kind of play both sides, and that's why like some people, they aren't true villains, but they're definitely not heroes. So you have to go the like Catwoman route, and it's like, oh, well, they're anti-heroes. They have powers and they'll do good if it serves them.
Right.
And so I think that's how you can actually use some of these characters. That way you have an opportunity to do a little more. Now I would definitely agree, like I said, and that's kind of what I was saying as far as the Defenders coming in. It has not made sense in the story thus far for the Defenders to even be a part of it. And so
I hope they don't show up until the last scene of the last episode.
And that's probably what it's going to end up being, because I mean the way this story's going, the way they're telling this story, it's pretty cohesive and it's making a lot of sense. It does not. There's nothing so far that I've seen that warrants anything more than what we have. Honestly, I think since they've already name dropped Punisher a couple of times, I half expected. There was a scene I saw where Matt shows up somewhere and I wasn't exactly sure where it was he was going. And then when he got to the room and I saw who was there, I expected that to be where we were going to see Frank for the first time. And that wasn't the case. So I was like, this is getting interesting now. That's the only reason I bring it up. But I do think that everything I've seen thus far in the season has been great. And I think Daredevil, while a Daredevil movie could have been a very good movie with this team, this cast, I think one of the things that makes this show so good is, as RG would like to point out, it is honestly phenomenal storytelling. It is the writing that is carrying this show, and it's a lot of the feelings and the dialogue and the conversations that people have and the emotions that you go through these stories, as opposed to, you get some of that in the big Marvel movies, the cinematic features. You get a hint of that, but definitely don't get as much, and you're not as invested as you are with the TV shows. And I think that's one of the things that makes Daredevil really stand out, is it is a very nuanced and layered show. It's not just strongman punch hard. It's not all comic book Flash. There's some depth to these people. And that's one of the things. And I think that's why, like, the TV show Loki works so well for Marvel, because we still got the mysticism and the magic that Loki was capable of, but we got some depth of character, and the people around Loki were interesting people, and they had depth. And
y'all really love Loki. I remember liking it.
Take any one of the shows, really. I mean, like, the point being, in most cases, when you look at a Marvel movie, you are looking for the summer spectacle. You're looking for the big grand show on stage. The movies are different from the TV shows, and I think that's the biggest difference, is the TV shows do tend to have a little bit more, and it's mainly because we get to spend more time with them. We get to be closer to these characters. Especially if you compare it to something like an ensemble piece where you have all the main Avengers. It's hard to, like, really put that time on each character and give you that nuanced depth that you get with the one-on-one aspect from the TV shows.
Yeah.
Same thing that
Loki
made
wrapped up
great.
well. Loki wrapped up well. All the parts to it that might have stretched out in certain episodes and made certain episodes a little bit more difficult to stick with, definitely wrapped up well at the end. So it's like he has a continuous arc. It's kind of cool with Loki, like his overall arc. The show does a good job of kind of like continuing that. He's not plateauing as a character. He's still kind of.
I just know I don't fuck with Loki because he one of them Ferris Bueller type characters where it's just like all you do is fucking break the rules,
failing upward.
And I don't fuck with people like that. Not saying their stories their stories do not inspire me. Like, you choosing to have like one moment of grace and love for the brother who's done nothing but fucking be there for you is not making me be like, oh man, yeah, he totally gets. This is the person who I want holding the fabric of the universe together. Like, I think there's just like a lot of those kinds of characters, like Loki, Joker, Harley Quinn. Like, it's just so weird to me sometimes. Like, this one of my geek boomer takes. You can definitely judge people off who their favorite characters are. If your favorite character is Joker and you're like over the age of 30, we gotta talk about some stuff.
I believe you own the Anarchist Cookbook.
It's just like, Joker, really?
Yeah, if they definitely own the Anarchist Cookbook. If Joker's their favorite, they over 30. They have I agree with that one. I'm with you. That's a close
But
side.
that's like all these
It's a good
Hollywood
judgment.
actors who keep being like, I need to do my take on the Joker, and it's just like, oh no, you see, you just got some crazy, messed up fantasies going on inside your brain, and you trying to use this movie as an excuse to get your little freaky stuff out and say it was. I was putting myself in the mindset of the Joker. Like, no, you wasn't freaky, man. You was just putting putting all the stuff you really want to try and all your intrusive thoughts into this movie, and you think we're not about to look at you weird. Like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna see the movie about the Joker who goes on the late night talk show and shoots the host, and then invite the director of that movie on my late night talk show. He can kiss my ass.
I can. You know what? Point well received. Yeah, you go do daytime talk show. In fact, don't
Like
even come on
what?
my talk show. You can phone in on the radio show. That's what you can do.
Somebody gonna have to call and be like, he didn't mean you.
Nobody patted this nigga for real.
He didn't mean. Like, all right. Just making sure we good. Cause it ain't gonna go like it went in the movie. They pat this nigga down.
Okay.
Now, in addition to Daredevil, another example of comic book movies and the question of have they fallen off? We are on the final season of The Boys, and
Oh yeah.
again, we'll try to keep it spoiler free because I know everybody's not. It's so much stuff to watch right now, and trying to keep because, like, if nothing else, if you're just doing I would even call them like the big three as far as the comic book stuff. You've got Daredevil, you've got The Boys, and you've got Invincible. Those three by themselves, that's giving you three things to watch every week. If you have to catch up on any of that, that's even more homework to do. Heaven forbid you want to watch anything else in between those shows. Or if you like I know RG got a whole list of anime you trying to watch on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Jeff, I know you got your four or five shows that you catch up with. And so it's a good time right now, to be honest with you. It's a lot of good content on television.
Oh
So
yeah.
to answer the question, no, it's not over. We just made the title of the show that to get it into the algorithm.
Right. We got, you got to come in here and complain about some stuff. Man, comic book movie, like the comic book content, it's done, man. It's done. And I need more of it. So keep it coming. Give it all to me. I need it.
There we go. There we
You know
go.
what I'm
It's
saying?
not
You
viable.
gotta have a dude bro moment because like it's I'm gonna tell you, I've been waiting my whole life for all of the good stuff on TV to be comic book and superheroes. And hell, we got new Star Wars. I'm watching Maul right now. Like, uh,
I mean, it's
and
always it depends on the writing, right? It's
Yeah.
if you get
Yeah.
good writing, then the show's probably gonna be good. If you get bad writing, the show's probably gonna be bad. The issue before, and even I was guilty of it, was saying like the superhero fatigue thing, right? And it's not superhero fatigue; it's just bad superhero, bad
Quality
bad
they stepped on
bad
representation
content, bad
of the
content
superhero
fatigue.
fatigue.
what happened was they started stepping on the dope. It was like the people who was making all this stuff, like Dave Filoni and what's his name? What's his homeboy name from? He played Happy in MCU.
Oh,
John Favreau.
yeah.
See, these dudes was people who actually liked these topics and
The
these
properties.
IP.
Yeah.
They sat down, they studied, they actually crafted stories that made sense, that were believable. And then over time, you start getting people in like, what about this character? Let's appeal to this demographic. Let's move over here. Let's try to squeeze this in. We need something that we can sell to kids. We need something so we can sell to moms. We need some, and so then the movie becomes this balancing act of art and commerce. Whereas
Yeah.
when they first came out, it was just about telling a dope ass story. So
Right.
you're gonna have better writing when your focus is telling a dope story. The writing suffers when the people start coming in and asking you to change this and move this and leave this out and put this up here, not in service of the actual art, but in service of the commerce that surrounds the art.
Oh yeah, you focus on the
And
storytelling.
that's with
Probably tell
everything.
good stories.
That's with everything. It's like Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. Man, you talk about a fall off. We didn't know, I didn't know in the moment because I was just excited to see some Ninja Turtles. But looking back, it's like all the wrong people got involved. It's like you didn't have nothing to do with the first Ninja Turtles movie, and now here you are, your big head, all in this meeting, trying to tell us what to do.
Oh yeah. And I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna say it, man. When you're not focusing on the damn message, just stop making. You can have message in your show and in your movie, but it cannot be the focus of the damn movie. You can't keep pushing it. So you have to do it via subtext.
Yeah.
Right. You have to do it via subtext. If you're gonna do the message, you don't just say the message. Don't say the things that we're saying in IRL.
But
Like
here's
I
the problem.
don't
Here's the
want that
problem with
attached.
that.
I don't want that. It loses the immersion in the movie. I
Here's the
don't
problem.
want to think that this is taking place in my exact universe.
Here's the issue with that. Here's the issue with that. Because of cutting funds towards the arts and education, people are stupid. And they do not have the capacity to process Shakespearean level dialogue on a spaceship. They 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 do their best to make a good story, but they got people who literally come in and say, use this kind of language. Say what you're doing out loud because people are watching this and they're on their phone. Like it's all you're not crazy, RG, because they are doing this on purpose.
Mm.
But it's because they're being directed to, not because they think this is the best way to make art. It's like they got some AI bot data dude that's just like, hey, 75% of people look down at their phones at the 35th minute of every episode.
Oh yeah, you're looking at mentions and engagements and shit.
So you have to say certain things that will make people look up.
At the 35 minute, we need to have some sort of shocking whatever. And it's just like, all right, man, if that's how you want to make your art, but nobody was telling that to whoever was writing them soliloquies that Patrick Stewart was given as Jean-Luc Picard. So of course this shit gonna sound regal and authoritarian. But if I'm watching a Star Trek show about some high school or college kids, would you feel like it was weird that Patrick Stewart walked into your dorm room freshman year and was like, to hither, where's this mind dwellings? Hast thou chosen which side thou shalt reside upon?
Before we make this nigga sound like he was reading from the King James Bible.
Make it so. Make it so.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
He was
engaged. Right, engaged.
He was a perfect storm of good voice, British accent, and just good writing. Because I mean, it's not like the commander. What's his name?
Bro, he was a British dude named Jean-Luc Picard.
I'm just saying.
You talking about good writing?
Look, how many generations has it diluted? The French and the British, they got assimilated. The world went through some shit, remember?
Man, Star Trek generations over here.
I'm trying to make sense of it. Can I believe a British dude named Jean-Luc Picard in 25?
If you can believe that, then I can believe that. Then I can believe that they will be using they still gonna be using black slang and all that stuff in the future too.
Yeah.
Our beliefs are coming from the same place.
They
It's a
don't make
dialect.
potato. You have never seen an episode of Star Trek where they made potato salad. That's all I'm saying.
Space raisins.
I'm saying
Hold
I
on.
feel
Sure
like
they do.
I feel like
Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Cisco's dad owns a Creole restaurant in New Orleans, and they go visit him there. And
snap.
Cisco is always
Oh,
shown
snap.
cooking. It was in one of the episodes of Star Trek Academy when Sam was figuring out what happened to Cisco, and they were talking about how he used to grow.
You know what?
his
That was
own
a
stuff
good
on the
cut
ship.
right there. That was a
Come
good
on,
one
man.
right there.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
That was a good cut.
Good
right there.
point.
Did I get him, Teresa?
You know what? I had to give you a round of applause for that. That was good.
She's sitting over there proud, just
She's beaming with a smile right there. Now, I will say, even the characters from the boys, we can actually see what you're saying take place in the show. Because in some of the most recent episodes, you know, they had some characters, and some of those characters were influencers. In addition to be got him. They were influencers in addition to being heroes. And you know, you hear conversations where MM is talking to somebody and he's basically saying, like, you know, this hero life ain't all it's cracked up to be. And you have a choice you can make now, you know, because this is how it's going to go. Here's what your future is going to look like. You know what I'm saying? And having been on the other side of that, you know, since he's one of the people who's trying to stop the heroes, he's basically let this person know this is how it's going to go. This is what you have to look forward to. And when you just watch the way these influencers interact and the way they engage with people, it's all about the algorithms, about the likes. It's about what people believe. And even what's the girl?
Firecracker or whatever.
No, the smart one.
Sage.
Sister Sage.
Sister Sage.
Sister Soldier.
Even when you listen to Sister Sage talk to Homelander at different times, everything she's telling him, it's all just data points. It's all buzzwords. It's all, you know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. They put content out there. They have the information out there being visible, informing the masses, and deep fake news. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like they just,
of course.
And they're just able to put that information out there, and the way they're able to do it is it is a reflection of real life right now. Because if you go and you look at, you pull up any social media, you pull up Facebook, you pull up X or Twitter, you pull up Threads, you pull up what's the other one? Blue Sky. Any of these social media outlets where people get to post their own content. If you are not very carefully cultivating your algorithm, the randomness of the shit that's going to find you online is amazing. And
alarming.
All it takes, alarming. Yeah. And the crazy part is all you have to do is like look at it for 2 seconds longer than you looked at something else.
Yeah.
And now that's part of your feed. It's not even you didn't like it, you didn't engage, but the phone knew you stayed. That app recognized that you stayed on that video was on your screen longer than the previous video was on your screen. Oh, you must like
scroll
this.
past it fast, and you thought you saw something, and then you went back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oof, nah.
So now, you know, when you see the way that is being shown to you, because when you that is the one thing I will say. When the boys started, like season 1, episode 1, 2, 3, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this is just as crazy. had to run out and find the comic and try to read through some of that stuff, and it is like that was a wild ass comic. That is a wild ass comic.
Yeah.
And seeing how much of that they've actually really brought to the TV show, pretty impressive.
They did a good job.
Like pretty impressive that they were able to adapt enough of it, but keep the same. It wasn't like line for line, but the same feeling is there. It's the spirit of the the comic, without a doubt. And some stuff they were just like, yeah, just put it in there. It was there, so it's there. But now that we're coming along, we're in season 5, and I'm actually able to see so much more. It's like, it's one thing to see the direct comparisons that the show has with real life, but the message of what they're showing you, how things are done, how this information comes to you, how it accesses your information. Seeing that on the show is like, it really does make you think and like acknowledge what you're seeing. It's more than just a TV show. You know what I'm saying? This is actually, I think, more of a commentary on today's existence. It just happens that a few people can fly and they're really strong and they might be bulletproof, or they can dig a hole by unhinging their jaw and expelling the dirt like a water.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely a very apt description. It does a good job of being a description or a depiction of more of a reflection of who we are as a society. Like, it does speak a lot to how we are as a society, but I feel like it's more on a extreme level, and it is a bit hyperbolized for just for entertainment purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like, are there aspects of it that I feel like are definitely could come true if we were in that exact situation? Fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's how well, there's other parts of it where I feel like, yeah, I don't think it would get to that point, but then at the same time, it's like yeah, but I could believe it could get to that point.
Absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think The Boys, the TV show, even if you've never read the comic and if you just go by the TV show, I think The Boys is a really good what if scenario. What if superpowers really existed? And I think that is a good depiction of what society and what life would be like. There would be some people who would just be part of the masses. They would, but then there would be people, there would absolutely be hero worship. And people would just because he's the strongest hero, it really comes down to, well, I do what I want because who's going to stop me?
Right. And it shows how much people will eat from and accept from people that they follow, just how much bullshit they'll allow just because it makes them feel that much better about their own bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And their own, that need to look past certain things or attempt to justify certain things because,
what you say aligns with what I think.
There you go.
What you said aligns with what I think.
Yeah.
Or I didn't have a thought and you said it and I like that, so I'm going to go with that. Doesn't matter if it's true. It's what you said, so I believe it.
It felt good when you said it.
I don't have to take any responsibility because I'm just trusting what you said. I don't have to think for myself. You said it, and you're the president. You're the head of VOT. You're the leader. Well, actually, because he's not even the president. That's the funny part. But the president's in his pocket because he had the president go get coffee. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, obviously, he's the one running things, and so when you have that person who's in charge, you just, okay, it's what you said. And I don't have to think because you said it. And if you're in charge, then that's what it is. And
right. Even at the highest level, they're showing, even at the highest level, this is what, people are willing to accept.
But again, go ahead because I know you want to jump in there. You
No,
can switch hats if you
I
like.
no 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 no. I agree with everything that y'all are saying. I mean, I think it's definitely it's superheroes told through a uber capitalist lens, right?
Uh-huh.
So the reason that this world has all the problems that it has is not this world, but the world of the boys has all the problems that it has is because the manufacturing of superpowered beings was controlled by a corporation versus like
Right.
in the superhero worlds that we're used to, it's like a galactic force created a ring that knows your heart, or you're an alien who landed in Smallville, or your parents
Right.
just had a lot of fucking money and decided to walk down Murder Alley after a movie one day. All these like kind of more extraneous levels of coming across heroes, or in Marvel, very accidental, right?
Right.
Accidentally got bit by a spider, accidentally got hit in the eyes with some chemicals from a truck.
Right.
So
Genetics.
yeah, mutant. So I think like for this, it's like the most logical way we're going to come across superpowered beings is
They were born that
a
way.
yeah, it's going to be a company investing money into creating some sort of formula that
Right.
transforms humans into superpowered beings or clones them, or you do it to the embryos and then the mothers come to term and all this shit or something like that. It's going to be a capitalist endeavor that brings these things to reality, and therefore everything about them will fall under a capitalist umbrella. And the thing about capitalism is, yes, there's opportunity, but the thing about when any when everything is for sale, that means anything is for sale.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you start looking around. It's like, damn, I ain't know motherfucker can sell that.
As long as there's a buyer,
So
there's a seller.
I think that what you guys are saying is true. I think the real shame of the boys is the people are too stupid to understand it. Really, like even going back to people realizing like 2 seasons in that Homelander was the bad guy. I think that they are picking up where I think um, Thunderbolts left off in terms of reaching out to the scorned white man who feels as though America has put him down and turned his back on him. Like you're searching for validation. Your mommy figure couldn't give it to you. Your dad thinks you're a little piece of shit. Like here's your dad, this rugged war hero, and here you come marching in there, your USA flag cape with your blonde hair. It's like, yeah, what do you think he's gonna think of you? You look like a Barbie doll to him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And you couldn't get now you couldn't everybody who he looks to for the validation, Ryan, whoever, it's just like he can't find it. And I don't know how they're going to end the story, but I'm very curious as to how this character flaw resolves itself, because for me this has been the long game, like
Hmm.
Homelander's descent into not just madness but depression and
I mean,
anxiety and paranoia. And
Hmm.
for somebody who can do whatever he wants to do, it's strange to see you be paranoid and to see you break when somebody calls you weak or laughs in your face, or the pop, like people not having the level of fear of you that you once commanded. I think that's it's just been a fascinating journey to be on. I'm curious as to how it's going to end. I'm less invested in this like mutant virus thing of are we how we're going to kill Homelander, because I think how can we kill Homelander is a less interesting story than what is Homelander going to think and feel about himself whenever he does whatever he's going to do at the end. He's being pushed to an edge. He's been
Mm-hmm.
pushed to an edge his whole life, but since the beginning of this show, it's been just like the little compactor room in Star Wars. And eventually he gets gonna get to the point where it's like there's nowhere else to go. So what do you get pushed over the edge? How does he respond to that? And then I'll be interested to see what the boy is gonna be able to do about it.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. I think Homelander is a study in mental health, showing you that, you know, all of the power, all of the riches, all of the fame, he's had his choice of the women, the choice of men if he chose. Like he
But I don't
basically
even think
could have
it's just
had.
I don't even think it's just mental health. It's white people. Like I for me, I got to be specific about that. Like the kind of shit that Homelander be doing and feeling and complaining and crying about. It's like the shit that you be seeing like these white dudes who don't really have nothing else going for them, and they thought they was in a meritocracy, and then they realized that they weren't, and they were getting help and handouts, and now the handouts is gone because you voted them out, and now you look stupid. Like
Mm.
Well, some of his
everybody,
character
every
flaws, without a doubt, but in the in the larger sense, like specifically, Homelander has like severe narcissism, obviously,
Mm.
and you know, Grown A Geeks is
yeah.
not a medical professional, so you know, this is just my understanding of the conversation. So don't let this, you know, mhm. Whatever disclaimer needs to go there, put that up.
Fuck that! I'm calling him a narcissist.
Right, but no, I mean, like
It's
it's
safe bet.
he has extreme
I
narcissism,
mean, in literary
and
terms, he's a narcissist.
it's
Even if
one
we
of
don't
those
feel
things,
comfortable in clinical terms.
and it is a thing of like his narcissism stems from everything you were just saying as well. Because he is the poster child, he is a blonde haired, blue eyed white man in America, the most powerful, go where he wants, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's wearing the flag, like everything should be perfect for him, everything should be laid out. And here you can insert the Homelander meme, and it was just perfect.
I think
That's what it should have been. But the reality of it is, everybody don't like you because you're
right,
not a likable person,
right,
because you don't know anything outside of your delusion.
right,
You don't know how to relate to people. First of all, everybody that's around you is only there's a scene where he's just there and all he can hear are the fast heartbeats.
right,
And it's like nobody is comfortable around him. For somebody who has a need to be liked the way he does, for everybody around him to be uncomfortable with those rapid heartbeats, and you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I thought the same thing when I watched well, when I saw that scene, it reminded me of, slight spoiler, when Nolan comes back, he's
mm,
having a conversation with somebody, and that person's just like, yeah, sure, we can have this conversation. And then he leaves,
right,
and that person's like hyperventilating. He's like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? He was like trying to
right,
play it cool the whole time, like it was cool. But again, this is a person, much like Homelander, who, if he just decides this is the moment, it's over for you.
right,
You don't have an option to fight back.
right.
You know what
In
I'm
this
saying?
universe, I feel like Homelander has a that
Yes,
he has
Tyler.
a.
Tonight it is the grown ass men show. Yes.
There it is.
Our ladies were unavailable tonight, but they are in the chat. So make sure you tell them hi. You leave a comment and let them know. We'll let them know you was asking about them.
They're watching. So one of the things I think about Homelander is that he is a study in the lesser God complex. Like one of the things about Homelander is he is actually the most powerful being, like without question, the most powerful physical being in this universe, right? In their universe. And so and so despite that, he still requires validation from everyone else, right? And we've seen it, and this is kind of the same thing that goes back to like Greek and Roman gods, where they're always portrayed eventually that they require worship in order for their powers, you know what I'm saying, to be maintained.
Right.
And so Homelander is definitely like that. Like, Homelander never changes outfits. We've never seen Homelander in anything other than the Homelander.
He doesn't have a secret identity. His full-time 24/7 identity. You know what? It is
Homelander, right? He doesn't change clothes. Right. He doesn't change clothes. He doesn't do anything else. So he is just, and he's a lesson in absolute power corrupts absolutely. Like that, he is exactly that distortion. But what I find funny about him, or not funny, but what I find interesting in his character is that how what he craves is people that treat him like they're his equals, right? It was one of the things that the main reasons why initially he didn't kill the breast chick, and then the one giving him the breast milk, and then why he doesn't kill Giancarlo's character, Vought. I can't remember his name. That's not Vought. What you said?
Edgar something, ain't it?
Yeah.
Stan
Edgar, right? So the reason why he has never killed Stan Edgar's character is Stan Edgar's heartbeat doesn't move, it doesn't fluctuate around him, he doesn't portray any fear around him, he talks down to him. At any point in time, Homelander could have just, punched him in the chest, and he would have, been off the show, right? He's never done that.
On him. You could have sneezed hard on him,
right? It's his appeal. It's one of the reasons, and they show this in the trailer, so this is not a spoiler, of why he defrost Soldier Boy, right? Is he's so tired of dealing with people that are afraid of him. That's what he misses about Jesus, I never remember anybody's fucking name.
Noir.
No, the Nazi chick. Stormfront. That's why he missed Stormfront so much, because she wasn't afraid of him. He craves to be around.
That was one of the reasons he missed Stormfront.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, he craves to be around people who don't fear him. You know, so
but he also doesn't understand why people fear him. And that's what makes him that's what makes the character tick. It's like watching somebody try to figure out why they're annoying.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like people
you're annoying because you do annoying shit. Like
yeah. And it's like people didn't start fearing you, like, and he's delusional about the fact that people have a legit reason to fear him. Like,
right.
People are not just scared of you because you're Homelander. People are scared of you because they just watched a video of you basically like let a plane full
you just punch somebody's head. Right, exactly. You snap people's head off.
Threaten to laser everybody on the plane. You know what I mean? Like that's legitimate. That's a legitimate reason to fear someone.
And the funny part is, it doesn't matter whether or not, and this is the part that is scary, but also very interesting. It doesn't matter if the footage is real or not. Now, as the viewer, we know that it's real. But it doesn't matter to the people in that world whether or not it's real. It's plausible.
Right.
It's plausible. It's something that could
because also you walking around with the crazy eyes.
Right.
Afterwards. Like,
and the thing is, and look at how what he said when he look at what he said when like look at what he said when he was hearing all the heartbeats. right?
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, their heartbeat, like they're so afraid of." He said, "What are they hiding?" Like that's the level of delusion and just he's he has a malfunctioning brain. Sorry, it's just not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not all there. So if your response, if your perspective on why people's heartbeats are beating fast when they've seen this video, they've watched you do other shit, they've watched you. It's not the first time you've threatened people.
Well, and the other thing is
Don't forget,
what Sam
he
said about
killed.
him not. So I was gonna say what Sam said about him not having an alter ego. His big problem is there isn't like if he puts the Homelander suit in the trash can, there's nothing else. Like you don't walk away as Peter Parker. You don't walk
Right.
around as James Homelandier.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're
Homie
done.
Landier. That's
have
Homie
no-
Landier over there.
You've been given one purpose in life, and
Mark Washington.
if it's taken away from you, then and it's and I think too part of it is one of those things where it's like I think there are times even when dealing with a character like Superman where there are people who assume that the power he has comes from the fact that or the reverence that he has comes from the power that he has. And it's in a lot of ways it's actually the reverence is how he chooses to use the power that he has.
Homer Landon.
Homer
That's
Landon.
that is. I like that one. I like that one.
Nice.
So I think with Homelander, it's like really just watching him be confused about why people don't fuck with him. But it's just like, bro, like just because you have a bunch of powers and you're the fastest and the this and the that doesn't mean people are just gonna like gravitate to you. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, and you have the ability to just laser beam like if anybody, like people would be scared of anybody who could just like eyeball laser beam them away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
That's a
I mean,
logical human fear. But he didn't have no childhood. He didn't have no nothing. And so he don't understand life. He don't understand people. And he wants love from a species that he does not understand in the least. That he considers himself above and separate from. Like he tripping balls. He having delusional, weird, like wet daydreams. Like I don't know, humble. He got a lot going on.
He drinks breast milk. He drinks breast milk. He requests that calms him down. That literally calms him down. Like, yeah, he's got two things. So
yeah, he got
know.
like literally mommy issues, and it's just like again, like I said, I think the how do we kill Homelander story is just like okay, like I understand. We need to understand like the potential ways in which this is gonna go wrong, but I don't know. Maybe it's me. Like sometimes, like I do be more interested in like the superheroes than like the boys. And sometimes it's just them like in a weird dark room looking at some files. Like, what is this? And it's like, man, we'll get back to the superheroes. What's Sister Sage up to? I know she's scheming something.
Right.
Well, I think in this case, in this particular universe, it is because this is and that's one of the comparisons with all the different superhero universes, if you will. You know, the DC universe, those heroes are all epic godlike heroes who, they're up on like Mount Olympus type thing. They all seem very.
They represent ideals, principles.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel heroes are gritty. They're more realistic. Well, I mean, we're gonna be talking about X-Men here in a little bit. Um, but it's like they're more relatable to some degree. I think that's one of the conversations I hear a lot of people who are Marvel fans say is that, a lot of those characters, even though they have like these, fantasy situations happen to them, they got bit by a radioactive spider, or like you said, that gamma mutation caused them to become the Hulk, and things that just really aren't still going to happen.
Think about it like this: Peter Parker and Clark Kent both work for newspapers. We'll never be hearing about Clark Kent rant.
Not never. You know what I'm saying?
His parents do own a farm though, so
he be taking a lot of time off to travel and do these international stories, these op-eds and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Peter get paid per picture.
We ain't never seen him come back from no trip, no outer space mission, and it's a notice on the door. Talking about, Mr. Kent, we haven't heard from you in 3 months while you were in another galaxy.
He paid that rent up in advance. He didn't pay
I think that would make a good side story, like a good what if, like that there's a superhero and you find out like, well, so why doesn't he take his power and just like, I'm going to just dig gold. I'm going to fucking fly in the middle of the earth. I'm going to grab like fucking 50 tons of fucking pure gold. I'm going to bring it up to my fucking icy igloo, fucking melt it the fuck down, fucking go sell it. Be like, yo, I got like 200 bricks of gold.
So a super villain.
Why? Wait, he's not a villain. He's taking the gold. It's not anybody's gold. It's in the earth. He just takes the gold.
If you use your powers to just go into the earth
for personal gain,
extract the gold for personal gain, you are not a hero. You're just a miner.
I was just saying,
super minor.
In the real,
Superman, super minor.
In the real universe. All right, well then, boom. There you go. That's right.
I mean, but there again, I think that's what
you want to. Wait, hold on. You want to read that comic book? The man who just got the powers to find gold, and he just go out, he finds some gold, and he sell it.
I'll take a one-off.
I mean, do you know how quickly that dude's gonna get kidnapped? Like, if you have Superman powers, don't limit yourself to just finding gold.
But it's fucking Superman. Nobody's kidnapping him, man. He's not he's choosing to not fuck the world up, right? He's like,
okay, but see, then immediately,
this shit, right?
Immediately, what you have is Homelander, because now you're looking at a character. And again, I'm just saying, don't limit somebody with that power to just being like, oh, I'm gonna go find this gold and I'll have all this money. I'll be wealthy. If you have that power, you don't need money. What do you want?
Why not?
You get it. You go do it.
No, you can't just take.
Why not?
You can't just take. Why? Clark Kent's got to pay the rent. Clark Kent's got to pay the rent.
Man, Clark Kent will roll down in that super office and be like, ain't no more rent. Now what?
Right. He could just give him Coco Dasa and keep it moving, but
but I think it could be a nice young lady super. And there's that kryptonite.
There you go.
There it is right there. Now, I think that's what makes the characters in The Boys so fascinating, because this is, of all the different like depictions we've seen, doesn't matter if it's Arrow or Supergirl or any of the other shows that have been out that have superheroes, The Boys is the one that seems most realistic and most accurate to our understanding of society. That is what I believe that is how I believe heroes would exist in the real world. One, they would be a commodity, first and foremost. There would be meetings on Capitol Hill about where the heroes are going to be sent. It would really just be a business. And I will say, despite everything else, that was the one thing that Homelander was trying to accomplish. He wanted to step out of the limitations of Vought and go international and go global, get the military contract, because then getting that money was going to be far beyond the little measly contracts they were getting with Vought. And they were living off the hog through Vought. So they get these government contracts, these military commissions. You start sending heroes in place of the battles and whatnot. Now we're looking at something very akin to Watchmen, where we got to see when you send Dr. Manhattan in during the war, that changes everything. You know what I'm saying? Now you have other places trying to create heroes and get their hero program. We replace nukes with heroes. That becomes the biggest threat. And as long as the biggest nuke is on domestic soil, you know, that's a subtext of conversation in and of itself. So yeah, I think The Boys is another example that there is no such thing as comic book fatigue. I think it is just, as RG said, bad writing fatigue, bad shows, bad content fatigue. You put out crap, I get tired of that. You put out good stuff, I can't get enough. Send more. Give me season 6.
Kitchen fatigue.
Exactly.
Let the people who write.
Yeah, and I definitely think we need to keep with.
Checkers.
I definitely think we need to stick with, some of the creatives. Let them be creative. Let them do these stories, and everything doesn't have to be. It's a weird statement because I know it's not accurate because everything does kind of have to be about the dollar, but it is nice to get content that exists because the creator had a love for it when they made it. Yes. People were interested in making content they wanted to be out. They wanted to be shared. And I almost feel like you can tell when something is made with passion versus when something is made financially. Doesn't always mean automatically that it's going to be good just because it was made with passion. I give you that. But you can still tell that there was a sincere interest and not just a very generic, oh, this makes money, so let's make it kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't everything doesn't have to be that cash grab. But as we talk about Money in the Bank, Jeff, X-Men rumors. You had some casting notes. Some of the
Let me pull them up.
Some of the things you had heard. I've heard a handful of little things myself. Some of them, of course, are. I don't even think they're rumors as much as they're just like very popular fan casts. It's just what people, what the interwebs are saying they want to see. And I don't know that it always
some
fits.
Of these latest reports seem to be more like I've been looking at it. So basically, like there's a bunch of characters who people have kind of just guessed or they've heard they've been in talks and stuff like that for. So I think first, the biggest one is probably the biggest two probably are one, everybody's speculating that Sadie Sink from Stranger Things has been cast as Jean Grey.
Right.
Another one is there's been rumors that Jesse Plemons has been brought in for Beast, but then there's also rumors that Peter Claffey has also been brought in. So
Peter Claffey is from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. He was on that HBO show.
Yes, he was. I think the thing that I most am interested in really with this story is not necessarily the castings for sure. Although I will say there's a casting for Rogue that's been going around. It's either been like Margot something or Odessa
Azion.
Or Azion. And I like Odessa Azion and the things that I've seen her in. I wonder. I think with her, it's just like, can she do a Southern accent? If she can, I think she will be fine. But I'm actually really interested in like the fact that I'm kind of seeing a consistent character list, which is making me think more about the grouping that they're choosing to use and like what
Uh,
point of the X-Men that we're entering the MCU. Because when I see, obviously you expect to see Cyclops, Jean Grey. When I see Beast, I'm like, is this blue hairy Beast or is this big old teenager Beast who just was,
eight man
yeah,
beast.
yeah. Because then it's like, all right, then we should be hearing something about Angel and we should be hearing something about Iceman. But then also, I've been hearing Rogue, I've been hearing Kitty Pryde, I've been hearing Bishop Storm. So I think the fact that some of these characters in the castings don't be nowhere near the same ages is always fascinating to me. I feel like it's like they've got. I feel like they have like an old group and a young group, and they kind of going back and forth between which group they want to be in and seeing who can straddle
Mm.
what lines and stuff like that. Because Beast can't be older than Jean Grey and Cyclops. So for me, Sadie Sink being Jean Grey and Jesse Plemons being Beast, unless he's already blue, is kind of weird to me. Although maybe Sadie Sink will read as older. I just think of her as Stranger Things girl, so I don't
Right.
really see her as like
Still
in her
got her stuck in high
twenties.
school.
Yeah, I mean not even high school because I started watching Stranger Things after like season 2. So in my mind, she a middle schooler.
Well, I mean, she filled out that last season, so you know, I can. She's she's a woman now. So wait, is she?
All of them look
Jesus
like they
Christ!
were
Let me
ready
make
to
sure she
graduate.
is over 18, right?
I don't
All
know,
of them.
brother.
Isn't she
That's
not
why I'm
over
just
All of
letting
21?
you.
What?
I'm letting you
Okay,
wade
so
out into that
the only
territory.
point we're
Hold
making, and that's why I'm
on,
fixing
it's
this.
like
The
23.
only
She's
point we're
23
making is
years old.
that at the end of Stranger Things, she did look like she was graduating high school. All of the characters, because Finn didn't look like the little kid he was. Mike was
Some of the
like
niggas look like
six
they was
five.
getting kicked out of fucking college. So,
Well, and that's the point. Like they themselves were adults having to play graduating seniors and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the last scene. Essentially, was their graduation, or one of the last scenes was their graduation. So you know they all had their growth spurts and puberty and all that good stuff, and they're exiting high school now. So as they go from that role to anything else, they're ready to make that transition. Some of them have already done some other things, so it'll be curious to see where the rest of them go. I think this
gotcha.
will be, Sadie Sink's role in the upcoming Spider-Man movie will be one of the first things we've seen her do outside of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that will be. We already know that she has the role. They've done a very good job of keeping it under wraps with the Spider-Man movie. And so, of course, there's a couple of videos I'm sure you can find out there. And we even need to just sit and talk and discuss how can we get from Spider-Man to the X-Men if she is playing Rogue. If she's Rogue, how does
Jean
that
Grey.
relate to Jean Grey? Excuse me. If she's playing Jean Grey, how does that relate to the Spider-Man story? Um, and of course, there's just speculation that since he's mutating in this story,
Right.
that maybe that's where the whole content of mutants even comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the only other ones I've heard rumored for the role, Jack Champion is being attached to Cyclops,
Mm.
and um, he was in one of the Scream movies. He was in the Avatar, James Cameron Avatar movies, and
He was
so that
in
is
them, or he was
the
doing like body work. what they call that stop motion or motion capture.
Motion cap. I'm guessing it had to be the mocap that they do, and because his credits include,
He's in Scream 6.
yeah, that was he was in that one. He's in Trap House with who's that? Batista. Yeah, Dave Batista. I didn't see it, so I can't even. But it's on Netflix.
Nobody did.
I saw it. I'm just kidding.
He was also apparently he's in One Battle After Another. I guess he's the boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when so the daughter, when they show the daughter and she is at going to the dance and whatnot, I think the boyfriend who was coming to take her to the dance.
Okay.
But anyway, nonetheless, Jack Champion, it would be a relative unknown coming in for that role. I've heard Sydney Sweeney
That's Emma Frost.
Yeah, that's not a shock, but I think that is just
like, what is this? What is
super
this
fan
like,
casting.
See,
No, that's
this
just
is why
super
when
fan
I'm like,
casting.
yeah, because some of these names I be seeing, I'm like, what story is this? They're like John Boyega is Bishop. It's like, okay.
I'm not. You know
Like I
what?
said,
I'm not
a
making.
lot
I'm
of
not
this-
doing. I'm not making any judgments on casting because the truth is that Pattinson really surprised me as Batman. Right, I did not expect that from Pattinson. So, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to just wait to see what they do. I might not, like some of these I'm like, really, but let me
the
see
thing
what
is,
they
I'm
do
not even
because
tripping on
maybe
the
I can't.
casting because
it's early enough that none of these castings are official.
True.
Nobody has actually been attached to a role, and it hasn't even. We're just hearing because again, when I say rumor mill,
Right.
this is just the rumor mill. Hell, I think we might have casted some of these people better. My personal opinion, I think our casting was I was gonna say I think our casting was spot on. But also I think a big part of it, like Jeff said, it's a matter of who we're hearing. Because I'm trying to think of a lineup that would have Rogue, Beast, Emma Frost, Jean Grey, Cyclops. Those are the only ones that I've heard of. So it's like
Kitty
if
Pryde,
you have
I've
that
heard
group,
also.
okay. And see, and that one would even be kind of consistent with some of the names we had heard previously. So not previously, but some of the movies from previously. So
all right, so this is what they need to do. They have to figure out who is going to be the teenage character for whom we walk into the doors of Xavier School for the first time following their story. The choices you have is a young Jean Grey, right? You have a Kitty Pryde, you have a Jubilee. I'm sorry, I don't want to see this story told from Scott's perspective. I don't want to see this story told from emo. I turn myself into a blue hairy beast perspective. Definitely don't. It needs to be one of those three characters to introduce us into this world because that's how it's been done in the past. And unless you're gonna find a different character to do that with, which I don't know who that would be. Or you could do what they did the X Men. What was the X Men video game that used to be on PlayStation? The X Men Legends, and they had that girl Magma on there. But they always had some. Oh, in the movies it was Rogue, but don't do that again.
right.
Not emo. Not emo. Little Black Riding Hood Rogue. I don't want to see that no more.
I mean, honestly, they even tried. They did a double duty with Bobby Drake, having Iceman also be kind of the introduction from the teenage angle, and even hinting towards there being a romance there, and moving away from it like they did was such a waste. because you immediately told me we weren't going to see Gambit, so that was disappointing. Yeah, the only other thing that I've seen or heard thus far, there's of course talking about although current rumors strongly focus on a total reboot, but there are names that have come around for a while, like Bryan Cranston for Mr. Sinister, but that's been more again fan casting. And like I said, since nothing has come up that is official, Marvel hasn't said anything. It's just
Why the fuck would they want Bryan Cranston as Mr. Sinister?
Yeah,
That's
I
that's
don't
not good casting.
at all.
Mr. Sinister need to be somebody young. He need to be somebody big, and he need to be somebody like kind of funny.
Yes.
Will Smith. I'm just playing.
He was
No, we
ruled
have-
out with the young comment.
no, you know what? We have Will Smith in as Mr. Fantastic in a multiverse shot. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So, him, Margot Robbie, The Rock, and Kevin Hart would be the Fantastic Four. And the kicker was The Rock would be Johnny Storm, and Kevin Hart would be the Thing. That was a part that was the twist nobody saw coming. One last note here. Jake Schreier he's the person that's been attached as a director.
I'm honestly, the thing I'm most glad about is I'm not hearing a lot of Wolverine, which
Right.
either means they're bringing Hugh Jackman back again, or they have the balls to finally make an X-Men movie not centered around Wolverine. And actually, because what they're going to have to do this time to me is they have to build a world and then to find the Wolverine that fits in it. Like, this is not like where you can just have one person come in and one take over a legendary role and two have everything centered around them. Plus, it's like you gotta figure out like how to break that curse because the MCU was trying to do the ensemble thing, but like if we keep it thing like it's Robert Downey Jr. world, and when his character died off, it ain't been the same.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we had that darn incident with the chick chasing some dude, so ruined the whole potential great villain.
Man, he sucks. I don't think I don't think he no good actor.
No, he was good in Loki.
He wasn't good in Loki to me.
He was good in Loki. I don't think he was good in Ant-Man, but I think he was good in Loki.
So you like Victor Timely, and you like He Who Shall Remain, but you didn't care for Kang.
Correct. I didn't not that iteration of him.
He one of them dudes that really think he be acting.
I can just hear the twang at the end of acting. He think he be acting. like some people be out here singing their butts off. Other people be out there singing. He be out there acting. That's what I heard just now.
Everything I seen him in, I'm like, that's Jonathan Majors. I ain't never been lost in the character, lost in the sauce.
You didn't like what was the little horror thing he did with the Smolier?
Man, I ain't watched that scary shit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What was the horror?
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country. Yeah.
Man, I wasn't about to scare myself for no Jonathan Majors.
Come on, Sam. You gotta vote for him in that one? The real life Wonder Man.
What's my motivation?
The real life.
Wow. Wow, that's a good.
That's how he be
that's
acting.
a good.
What he
That's
say?
a good.
To the fame.
Megan believes in him.
Yeah, okay. She crazy too. That be off topic. It be hurting when one of your little Hollywood crushes. You be like, oh man,
You like that Cobalt, huh?
the critical thinking just. But all right,
Nobody's perfect.
right. I mean, I get it to a degree, but it ain't. It ain't. You know what it is? It's like I feel about him how I used to feel about Michael B. Jordan, where it was like, this is fine, but like I'm clearly looking at Michael B. Jordan right now. And I'm looking at Michael B. Jordan say some lines that are on a paper versus like I'm in Sinners, it's like I'm looking at Smoke and I'm looking at Stack. And I feel like he
Yes.
got there.
Yes.
I ain't never felt that with Jonathan Majors. I'm like, I'm looking at this big old black dude acting weird, trying to trick me into thinking he acting. Just being a weirdo.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how I felt about him in Creed. Was that Creed? Was that like
Yeah, he was in
two or
Creed.
something? Yeah, Creed.
Creed.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I wasn't
I
really
think I
sure how I
believed him.
felt about him.
I
Like
believed
Idris
him
Elba played a
in
better.
Creed. No, now it's funny you say
Maybe.
Idris Elba because I believed him more in Creed as that being closer to who that character would have been. So it was easy for him to get lost into that character. And although I like the movie, The Harder They Fall, I ain't believe that.
He ain't no good actor, man. I'm trying to tell
Everybody
y'all.
around him, phenomenal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But him
True.
by himself,
He just made weird little quirky choices, and people be like, "Wow, he's carrying around a
It's
tin cup."
artistic.
I don't give a fuck, man. That dirty salmonella cup. He wasn't good in the movie.
that's what I said. The movie was good. Everybody around him was phenomenal, and
Right.
they carried everything. He didn't have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Just be in the scene, say the lines, keep the story going. It wasn't hard to not mess up, but it wasn't like ain't nobody running out to be like, "You going to see that new Jonathan Majors movie?"
Oh fuck no.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yeah.
Man, they tried to tell us we was hating so hard. I was like, man, this dude weird. Trust me. Nah, he's a sex symbol. Okay.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. That's what y'all like now. Okay.
No,
No.
I don't even have an opinion on that part. So in other casting news, this is an interesting one. This is coming from DC. They're
No,
let
bro.
me find that one. No, actually, I think
you
you.
got going on.
I think you might be interested in this one. I posted this one earlier.
Are they black? That's all I'm interested in these days, brother.
Adria Arjona.
Who?
Adria Arjona.
For what role?
Mystery role in DC. In the DC sequel to Superman.
This is a girl they think might be the new Wonder Woman.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And I
How
have to
tall
say,
is she?
what's really interesting is when
She 5'7".
when I compared her to the people we had picked for our DC rest of the Justice League, she fit.
Okay.
She fit. She looks like she could have been one of the picks. It's still a matter of like, well, first off, it has not been confirmed whether she is going to be Maxima. Yes, Yes, Teresa. That's exactly who that is. So it still has not been confirmed officially if
Some
she
niggas
is.
don't lose.
You know what I'm saying? So my cat has decided it's playtime and just ran down the steps with his toy, as he is apt to do. But yeah, when you take a look at her, she was in Hitman, Splitsville, Blink Twice, Andor, Morbius, Six Underground. She's she's actually had some action. She is currently dating Jason Momoa.
She been in
And
anything where she had to swing a sword.
Oh, she's an Andor. Okay. Like,
I think she swung the sword in Six Underground. Let me figure out which. Let's see. She was 5 in that, and I think 5 and 3 were the ones that dated. So yeah.
I mean, 5'7" is pretty big for a Hollywood actress. So
look, they made us like Tom Cruise, so
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, because
Tom Cruise played Reacher.
Because part of the problem with Gal Gadot's
No, he played in a movie called Reacher. He did not play Reacher. Alan Rickton played Reacher.
Damn, okay. I'm a Reacherologist.
God damn.
I mean, Lee Child would never.
Why are you so mad at him? No,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's probably to your Jason Momoa comment. Some guys don't lose. Yeah. Well.
You know something? Good for him. We can't all get him, right? Everybody's not an option.
Right.
All right, I'm looking for it. She can do it. She can do a Wonder Woman. I'm completely fine. I don't care. I want to see what they do with it. I have been getting pleasantly surprised by a lot of people lately. So
she's 33, 5'7", from Puerto Rico. She's American, Guatemalan, Puerto Rican. She's got the upcoming movie Thomas Crown Affair. They redoing that movie again.
God damn.
Right, that's what I said.
Is this 3 or 4? I know.
You motherfuckers can't think of no more art thieves.
She was Bix Kalen in Andor.
Yeah.
I will say there was a lot of action in Six Underground. So if she was in Six Underground, everybody in that had good action sequences. Like all the people in that little group.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of action there. So that in my opinion helps right away. I'm trying to see here as far as now. What's interesting is Wikipedia, which unfortunately you can't, it's just Wikipedia. Anybody can go in and change that. In fact, I'm gonna change it right now.
Wow.
I'm gonna start some mess and change it. But on Wikipedia, they have it listed for upcoming movies, and they do have her listed in Man of Tomorrow, but they have her listed in the role of Maxima. But it has not been confirmed that it'll be Maxima, just that she was one of a number of people. Triple Frontier. Oh, she was in that. Okay. She was one of a number of actresses who were on set. And at the time, the report was those people were there auditioning for Maxima.
Ooh, that can work too. I like that. That's a good way to give us a little bit more dark side, right? I think you can tie her into dark side.
Well, I mean, Maxima is just an alien who decides Superman is worthy to be her husband, and
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm thinking.
now if you think of
So,
Barda,
yeah, I'm thinking of Barda or one of her.
She can't beat Barton now. Barton gotta
nah,
Yeah,
Barda
gotta
got to
come
be
with.
Diesel. Whoever
yeah.
they cast as Barda got to be Diesel. Like I'm gonna need a 6 foot. I'm gonna need an Amazon to come in there and be Barda
But
and
can you
sell
throw
that.
me around? No,
We
you
need. We
can't,
need.
Barton.
We got to
He's scot
stop. We
free.
got to. We got to stop being mad at Gina Carano.
Nah, hell no. She can't be no damn Barton.
Yeah, sometimes people say stupid shit. I
Yep.
gotcha. I don't want you to
Yes.
get fired for that.
Hey, I don't want you to get fired either, but I don't want you to
You
be
know what? But
Barton.
even if and this, this would be a good place to cut the show because what we not finna do is have the three of us on here showing out being stupid without anybody to no oversight.
I had
Um,
one. I had one last thing.
oh, what you got?
I don't know if y'all heard. There was an Avatar: Last Airbender movie that was supposed to, I guess, come out in theaters. That Paramount decided not to release in theaters, animated, and then basically somebody found it, leaked it. A whole bunch of people watched it. They said it's amazing. They don't understand why Paramount didn't want to put it out in theaters. So, just for all the Avatar: Last Airbender people, there's something on the horizon. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know if it's still coming out, but apparently, it's a very good movie about the time that the gang from the original show spend as young adults trying to rebuild the world. I saw the like little intro or like how they do the like fire, earth, like
Right.
Qatar's like little opening speech, and the new version of that is super dope. The animation style looks cool, looks super clean. They didn't do the like weird, like just give it a weird drop shadow thing that they be doing sometimes on theatrical releases.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's like I don't want to. I don't really want to support like Paramount because I feel like one, it's lame that they didn't put the movie in theaters, and I just feel like there's just so many things where whether it be this, there's like a story that came out where a writer, there's a black writer who wrote a rom com, who was basically like the studios are telling me how you, me, and Tuscany does will impact whether my movie gets like distributed or made or whatever. And I just
Yeah.
feel like there's such a dependence on like data that there's no taste anymore, and there's no people who are just like, nah, like you don't understand like the way that the last Airbender like speaks to people, touches people, and this is a story that people have been wanting and asking, and no matter how many different ways we try to repackage something up different, all they want to know is what do Aang, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, and Toph do next, because that was the whole crux of how the property got popular. But because you don't know anything about Avatar: The Last Airbender, because you're a regular grown man with families, and you came up based because of your accounting prowess, you don't have the taste to be able to sit down and say like, this was a property that meant a lot to a lot of different people growing up. So the last time it had a theatrical release, we like severely bombed it, and this is something that people have been clamoring to see done right on the big screen for a while, and people will come
Mhm.
out to see it. Like people came out to see Spider Verse. Like it's really it's a baffling move, especially because Paramount has basically said like their whole focus moving forward is not original stories but IP. But it's like you have one of your most popular IP that ranges across a wide variety of like segments that you hope to capture in terms of consumers, and you don't even put the movie in theaters for whatever reason. And it's like that's not a creative driven decision. It's clearly not a creative. It's not a decision driven by a creative.
Right. Right. Definitely one of those money decisions, and not it's a not even a money, more like a bottom line. They're looking at the ROI, they're looking at, all of the buzzwords and whatnot. Nobody's looking at
There have been
the
22
reality.
less impressions on Twitter for Avatar: The Last Airbender over the past 6 months. Like, the fuck up, man. Put the movie out.
It's trending down
People's
because nobody
money.
knows it's there. If you put a trailer, if we knew that it was coming, it would trend up. So
You gotta stop making movies for data points.
Nah.
But that's not what they're making it for. They're making it for sales. But how they determine
which is a data point.
How they choose what they think will sell is all based off of random ass. Like, these motherfuckers listen to a computer about what people like.
Mm-hmm.
You know how stupid that is?
I don't get it. The art and the ability, the willingness to challenge themselves, challenge the audience, but challenge the audience in a way that's like not. It's where you respect your audience's intelligence, right? Like, I understand the attitude or the feeling that, like, now because people's attention span is smaller, or even the whole get off my lawn type idea that people excuse that people have towards why certain Generation X might not like certain shit that that you're producing. The overall issue is that if you write it good, if you do give a good story, we'll get the message. You understand? Don't put the message in the story. Make the story the message, and then we'll get it, right? If what you want me to do is feel this human emotion, then make the movie about that human emotion. If whatever it is, if it's sympathy, if it's anger, if it's distrust, if whatever it is, make the story about it. Don't have a story about something else, but then you don't know. But then, in order to get your message across, you got to have somebody randomly, blurt it out. There's a lot of opportunity for real. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of good stories within comic books that just tell the story. Like, keep the spirit of the story. Like you said earlier, Sam, what makes what they're doing with the boys and the deviation, the standard deviation from the comic book is not that far. You know what I'm saying? It is not that far. And so that's what actually makes the live action so good, is because it's already kind of proven that this story does not need that many upgrades or updates to it. If you stick to what it is that the original author, the one who cared about the subject matter, did with it, then more people will enjoy the end product, right? I don't want you to, too many times it's they break immersion with these direct correlations and these random, fight the power moments. And it's like, chill, I get it. That's what you want to say, right? And I get it that it's important to be said, but either make the movie about that so that I feel, almost an inception, right? I feel that emotion because of the story, right? Not I feel the emotion because you just had somebody just said it. And man, it's just not cool the way, you know what I'm saying, they be doing people like that. And wait, what? No, don't do that. And there's, the boys are showing it. Invincible is showing it. We didn't get to talk about Invincible, but Invincible is another, comic to television show transition that worked really, really well. It just worked really, really well. It's proof that when you tell the story right, Section 8, tell the story right. You know what I'm saying? As long as you tell the story right, people will it will resonate with people. People will enjoy. They'll support your product if you tell the story right. Don't worry about the message. Just tell the story. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get it. And you know, it's we've got some good examples. So we got a good time. You know, we got a good time right now.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of good media.
I will say when it is all said and done, I am very happy about the sheer volume of comic book content that is out there. I look forward to more comic book content as it gets released, especially if it's going to maintain this standard, this quality. If it's going to continue to be this good, I'm all for it. Lanterns, what I've seen so far, looks like it's, the little clip I saw looks great. Wonder Man's got a season 2. Like for the foreseeable future, we've got stuff in the pipeline and stuff coming. And I think one of the things that people really need to accept is that some of these comic book stories are told over multiple issues by some award-winning writers. There's some good stories there. And sometimes it's just a matter of adapting that good story to the screen and nothing more. If it ain't broke.
Don't fix.
Yeah, we don't want your little extra how you feel about it.
No self inserts. No self inserts.
Screw you, artists. Go take it up with your therapist.
Exactly. Well, folks, that is our
Thanks,
show
Teresa.
tonight. We hope you've enjoyed our conversation. We look forward to having you in on the next show. We are Grown A Geeks tonight. We have been having an opportunity. We've been having an opportunity. That's not even a good sentence. Tonight we had the opportunity. We got to talk about the state of comic book movies, and is it finally fallen off? And I think it's a resounding no. It has not fallen off, and it looks as though it's getting better. And the longer they keep doing it, the more they can perfect it to the point where the good content will be the good content. It doesn't have to be labeled a comic book movie. It'll just be that TV show or that movie. And I think we're starting to get a little bit closer to that because Daredevil is cinema. The storytelling that we're getting from The Boys season 5 is phenomenal. And as these shows get more and more nuanced, I think that does step it up and improve it and make it better. There's still going to be plenty of space and opportunity for the cool stuff where we get to see the superpowers and the big explosions and all that cool shit. And we need that because that's part of it too. But I think a large part of it is the storytelling is really coming in and proving itself. This damn Tabby, he is just like insisting that we play. But like, subscribe, follow, join us everywhere you can find Grown A Geeks. We're trying some things out here tonight. Got a new QR code here. We're going to pop that one up. Click that QR code over there. Let's see. I've got it. Hit that QR code right there. And that's going to take you directly so you can follow, like, subscribe, and the whole nine. If you want to find our other items and all our other good stuff, click that one over there by Jeff. That's going to let you follow us on all of our other social media and all the platforms we have. We hope you've enjoyed our conversation tonight. We look forward to seeing you next time. For RG, Jeffrey, I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we are out of here. Peace.